Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
It's cold outside this morning, and that means we're going to see some pretty nice weather as we head towards trick-or-treat time. We'll fill you in on that hour-by-hour forecast.
When something's wrong with your car, you need it fixed fast and now, but that can be hard with a shrinking workforce. Coming up on GMSA, why one local auto repair shop says an item on the ballot could mean more technicians.
Plus, 2 people are in the hospital after this crash involving several vehicles. We're going to tell you what police are saying so far about how all of this happened. All right, good morning to everyone out there. It is Thursday, October 30th. I'm RJ Marquez.
And I'm Patty Santos, and we're getting you ready for this morning, this Thursday. It is chilly outside, and we've sent Justin Horn outside the KSAT studios. I see you're wearing your jacket. Good morning.
My big jacket. I'm a little jealous of you guys being in the warm studio.
It is cold in the warm studio. It is cold out here. We got temperatures right now in the low 40s here in San Antonio, 43 to be exact. Here in the city right now. Temperatures are in the 30s in the hill country, but yes, kiddos, trust me on this one. As you head to school this morning, you will want a jacket, a nice sized jacket as you head to the bus stop. We think temperatures may dip a couple of more degrees before it's all said and done into the low 40s. Now, the good news here is we rebound nicely by this afternoon. We're back into the low 70s, and eventually I think we'll make it into the mid 70s in most locations. I mean, pretty close to ideal weather for your Thursday. Coming up, we're going to look at the trick-or-treat forecast. I got it hour by hour for you, so you can get ready for all the candy consumption. And we're going to look at the weekend, too. We do have a small rain chance on Saturday. We'll fill you in on when and where we might see some rain. That's all coming up here in just a bit, guys.
All right, thank you very much for that, Justin. Our top story this half hour, still gathering more information on a pretty bad crash that happened last night. This was the scene around 9 o'clock on the west side at North General McMullen Drive and Ruiz Street. As you could see from some of that video that we shot, several vehicles were involved in this crash. According to the fire department, 2 people were taken to the hospital as a result, and we don't know yet what caused the crash or the severity of their injuries. We will go ahead and keep you updated on this story.
This morning, some federal and local law enforcement officers are hoping to put one particular type of crime out of business. U.S. Secret Service agents and San Antonio police have been working together on a credit card fraud crackdown they call Operation Come and Take It. They've been visiting local businesses looking for devices known as skimmers, and for years, criminals have been hiding skimmers inside ATMs and gas pumps. But did you know they're also placing them inside countertop credit card terminals? The devices capture personal information from customers' cards.
Estimated that every skimmer we find and take off the streets is worth about $1,041,000.
The Secret Service has conducted similar crackdowns in about 24 other cities so far. They say along with targeting debit and credit cards, criminals lately have also been using skimmers on EBT cards, and those are cards that people get government assistance to buy food.
And this morning, a warning for our folks out there in Schertz. The police department there warning residents of a suspicious male who approached a 10-year-old girl. So this all happened as officers responded to a report around 4 p.m. Wednesday in the on Red Cedar Cove. Police said that a man wearing a black shirt and blue jeans attempted to persuade that young girl to walk with him. The girl was unfamiliar with that man and went to a neighbor's house to go ahead and seek help. Now, people who live in that area and have security cameras are being asked to check on their footage. Anyone with information on this case is urged to contact Schertz Police. Police say that this serves as an important reminder for parents talking to their kids about stranger danger.
Later this morning, testimony will continue in the trial of 3 former San Antonio police officers charged in the 2023 killing of Melissa Perez.
That's right. The defense has now questioned the lead detective on missing information from an arrest affidavit. Now, the defense played a recorded interview that Detective Ronald Soto did with Perez's family after she was killed. During the interview, the family told Soto that Perez had been dealing with schizophrenia.
And the defense asked Soto if he included any of that information in the arrest affidavit for Eleazar Alejandro, Alfred Flores, and Nathaniel Villalobos.
You answered all these questions about this video about what the family was saying about Melissa Pettis' mental status. And you would also agree that she didn't include any of that information in the affidavit for arrest.
No, I did not.
Now, during Detective Soto's testimony, he also told the jury that he did not do a review of all the body cam video from the night that Perez was killed before submitting that arrest affidavit. And we are live streaming this trial from gavel to gavel. Testimony is expected to continue this morning at 10:30. You can watch it on all of our streaming platforms on KSAT 12.
Okay, listen, you have just today and tomorrow to vote early for the November 4th elections. The Bexar County voters will determine whether the county can allocate funds to the Frost Bank Center and a proposed new downtown arena for the San Antonio Spurs. Also on the ballot, NEISD is asking for $495 million in funding to fix up a long list of schools. The money will be addressing aging infrastructure, mechanical, electrical, plumbing, and safety and security enhancements, as well as technology upgrades. Those with the longest list include Jackson Keller, Larkspur, Lee, Delview, Nimitz, and Ridgeview. The district says the proposed bond package was created following a comprehensive review of district facilities, enrollment trends, and instructional needs.
This really was a 4-year process, and that a facility steering committee made up of parents, community members, and staff are really the ones who decided what should go into this bond.
Listen, state law requires that all school bond propositions on the ballot include the statement, quote, "This is a property tax increase." However, the district said it anticipates no increase to the current tax rate due to, quote, "sound financial planning and debt restructuring."
And this morning, voters in Schertz will also decide on how their land will be regulated in the future coming up during this election season. The Schertz Proposition A has 2 options. Option 1 would annex some homes in the extraterritorial jurisdiction within 5 miles around JBSA into the city of Schertz, as you see that map right there. This would give also those homeowners access to city services like fire and EMS, but they would then also have to pay city taxes. Option 2, that would impose land use regulations on the land in the extraterritorial jurisdiction, requiring landowners to get permission before building near the military base. The City of Schertz Deputy City Manager, he is Brian James, explaining to us why this vote is so important.
Make sure that development on those properties doesn't do anything to negatively impact the mission of the base. So for instance, with the flight mission and the pilot training out there, or flight instructor training, we don't want tall things built.
Now, San Antonio had a similar vote in 2018 regarding the areas near Camp Bullis and Camp Stanley. Those voters chose the land use regulations rather than being annexed into the city. All right, another story right here. This morning, more than 102,000 people in Bexar County have cast their ballots, and yesterday almost 14,000 people voted in person. Now again, another reminder here, polls are open from 7 o'clock in the morning to 7 p.m. and the last day to early vote is tomorrow, Halloween.
This morning, President Trump returns to Washington today after a high-stakes meeting with China's president, a face-to-face aimed at cooling months of trade tension. The 2 leaders talked for nearly 2 hours, and President Trump says they reached a deal. Lower tariffs on China in exchange for new U.S. soybean purchases, continue rare earth exports, and a crackdown on fentanyl trafficking. But some analysts are unclear how long the trade truce will hold as both sides continue to test each other on economic and geopolitical fronts. This morning, Republican leaders in Congress are saying all or nothing, turning down a Democratic proposal to fund food aid for more than 40 million Americans affected by the government shutdown. Democrats say they wanted a quick vote to keep the SNAP program running while negotiations continue over health care subsidies, but Republicans blocked it. Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer called the move a moral issue, while Majority Leader John Thune accused Democrats of playing politics to avoid the blame for the shutdown.
All right, so coming up on 5:09 right now. Good morning to all of our folks out there. Quick check of your traffic with our traffic authority. In 35 Walsham Road, we had a crash here earlier that had blocked at least two of the main lanes over here by Eisenhower and Walsham, but it looks like traffic for the most part is starting to move along. Let's take you back to the northeast side of town, a little bit further out the road here. Lookout Road has started to clear out after some overnight construction, and we're taking a look here at 35 South, still seeing a bit of construction right here at Live Oak and Pat Booker Road. So keep that in mind if you're about to step outside. Let's check in with Alex, see how things are looking in drive cam.
Yeah, well, good morning. No problems for the east side right now. I'm near 410 and I-10, and I'll let you know if I see anything, RJ.
All right, thank you very much. We'll check back in with Alex in just a bit. Justin.
I'm still thawing out from being outdoors here. 5:10, 43 degrees. Definitely a cold morning. Sunrise is at 7:46, and once that happens, temperatures will go up rapidly. Sunset this evening, 6:49. Look at the weekend forecast, which does include some rain chances coming up.
Okay, lots of people will be on the streets trick or treating tomorrow night. Up next, the one key thing Texas troopers need you to know if you have an encounter with an out-of-control vehicle.
And imagine a robot that cleans your house and also, get this, knows your routine.
Yes,
we're going to show you.
I love it.
The new humanoid helper aiming to take over your chores. 5:14 on your Thursday morning, and when you think of people who get SNAP benefits, sometimes you don't usually think of college kids, but that is definitely the reality for 1.1 million students across America.
Yeah, and as the government shutdown continues, our Christian Riley reports that local colleges and universities are trying to help students pay for books and food.
The Student Advocacy Center is at the heart of San Antonio College and has been a lifeline for many since it was introduced nearly a decade ago. But recent economic struggles and the government shutdown have driven more students through its doors.
Our students are already coming to us and saying, I'm out of my benefits and I don't know when I'm going to get them again.
The center opened in 2016 at the request of professors.
Our students were going to their faculty and staff and sharing stories of homelessness, of hunger, of mental health needs.
On average, 2,700 students visit the center every week, and that number continues to rise.
Just the cost of living, the cost of food prices has been increasing steadily for everyone, and so that's already been impacting our increase in utilization of our pantry.
Last school year, it recorded 83,000 visits, and this year's need has already been 13% greater.
We're already starting to talk about who can we reach out to get more funding.
The center partners with the San Antonio Food Bank for many items in the pantry, but sets itself apart by offering perishable items like milk, eggs, and bread through a partnership with H-E-B.
So if we can take care of our students' basic needs outside of the classroom, then they start taking care of themselves by finishing their education and getting amazing jobs in the community.
Christian Riley, KSAT 12 News.
And listen, this morning, many companies, workplaces, and school districts are also stepping up to offer assistance to families struggling during this government shutdown. But let's say you rely on SNAP benefits or you're a federal worker that hasn't been paid because of the shutdown. Please know that there is help out there. You can scan the QR code right there on your screen. That's going to take you to a list of resources available on our KSAT webpage. And some of those resources include food banks. These are just some of the food pantries across the city. The Little Free Pantry on Castroville Road, Henry Carroll Early Education Center on Home Green Road, and the Christ Episcopal Church on Belknap Place. Those were just 3 out of the more than 30 food pantries in the area and surrounding areas. You can scan the QR code on your screen. And we look not just in Bexar County. There's also help in Kendall County, Comal, Wilson, Guadalupe. Right now on KSAT.com, we have all of those locations listed.
All right, we'll get to your traffic here in just a bit, but if you are going trick-or-treating tomorrow, keep some of these best practices in mind. One bit of advice is stay in large groups, have a planned time to also meet, and a place if you get separated. That's what DPS Sergeant Jason Galaviz recommends. He says that more people means a higher chance of an accident. A study from 2019 says that this can be as high as 43%.
They avoid all distractions, put their phone down, slow down in the neighborhoods, and make sure they're paying extra attention to the roads and the kids that are out trick-or-treating this year.
And if you need more tips for the kiddos, Galaviz recommends wearing bright reflective clothing. Plus, this year DPS also has a color sheet of their Canine Disco, which also has more tips, and you can find all of that information on their website. Okay, yes, and again, you definitely want to be safe with all the kiddos around, different neighborhoods. October is a pedestrian safety month, especially as we kind of get the time change as well. So be careful with all those kids that are going to be headed out on the Friday night trick-or-treating routes. Let's give you an update on the routes here on the road, and that just popped up. I mean, literally, you just saw it right there. That's going to be right there, 281, a little bit south of 410, so we'll check on that here in just a little bit. But you see the red right there. We'll zoom in on that over in the city of Schertz. Good morning to all of our folks out there, and we're seeing slow going right here. Basically anywhere from Roy Richard all the way south to Live Oak, Pat Booker. Seeing some delays of about 10 to 15 minutes right now for our drivers going south, and also some delays for our drivers going north as well. So we'll keep this in mind. This is going to be ongoing construction. Good news is we did clear out that crash that was at 35 at Walsham and Eisenhower. So we're good to go a little bit further into the city. Let's check in with Alex Gomez right now. He was on the east side of town for us and see how things are looking in Drive Cam. Looks like Alex is at an incident this morning. Alex?
Yeah, good morning, RJ. I'm still here on the east side because we did have a minor crash over here on I-10 westbound. It's going to be on the exit to go 410 north. So you can see right here we do have the right lane blocked on that exit, but the main lanes of I-10 west are still going to be open for you, RJ.
Okay, all right. Good information there for our drivers on the east side. We will continue to monitor that situation. Justin, still thawing off a little bit, man, or how you feeling?
I'm trying to, man. It is cold out there. And look, it's not, just bitter cold, but it is a shock to the system because we have not seen these kind of temperatures since early April. We are now down in the low 40s, 43 here in San Antonio. We still have, I'd say, another couple of hours with the potential to fall even further. 44 in New Braunfels, 42 Converse. We are in the 30s in Bernie, 37 there. We're not detecting any freezing temperatures in the hill country, but as we've been saying, some places could get close. I don't expect really any issues, though. 41 this morning. It will be a big temperature shift today. We'll go from the low 40s to the mid 70s this afternoon for a grand total of a 33-degree temperature difference. So it's just one of those days where the air is dry and it's cold this morning, but it'll feel great once we get into the afternoon hours. And that includes for football tonight. Smithson Valley takes on MacArthur at Hero Stadium tonight. Kickoff is at 7 o'clock. We'll have clear skies, 66. By the drive home, 50s. If that isn't great football weather, I don't know what is. So it'll be perfect for Thursday night football. And you know what? Trick-or-treating tomorrow night looks good too. Here is the hour-by-hour forecast. And when things get started for the little ones, eerily nice. By 7 o'clock, frighteningly, I can't even say that, frighteningly comfortable. That's a lot of ins. All right, 66 at 8 o'clock, creepy cool, and by 9 p.m., scary perfect. That's my trick-or-treat forecast. Really, really nice. I'm thinking years past, this is about as good as it gets. So I hope everyone has a great time tomorrow night. Let's look at the weekend. Futurecast here. So tomorrow's clear. As we get into Saturday, a little storm system dives south. It starts to bring in some moisture. So I think by Saturday morning, we'll have some cloud cover. No rain just yet, but as we head into the afternoon on Saturday, there could be some showers, maybe even a thunderstorm that pops up. Now, the best odds are going to be east of San Antonio, but that is something to watch on Saturday. And if these clouds hang around, it could be a little bit cooler too. I don't expect a lot of rain. I don't expect a lot of big issues, but if you do have outdoor plans on Saturday, please know that. And by Sunday, the sky's clear and the sun's back out and we're back into great weather. So the weekend forecast, 20% chance Saturday, 76, small rain chance, sunny and nice on Sunday, 73. And the rest of your forecasts, yes, we fall back on Sunday too. Don't forget that. Patty will have more on that coming up in just a bit. And we'll be in the upper 70s. We'll return to that by next week. All right, our Just Ask Justin question this morning. Got to thinking yesterday. I was curious. What's the most common surname in Texas? Is it Williams, Garcia, Smith, or Martinez? You go to KSAT.com/polls, scan the QR code, log your vote.
I'll tell you, it's not Santos.
It is not. It is not. No.
Yes. And I feel like I know everyone that is that has that last name.
Yes.
At least someone.
Yeah.
All right, thanks so much, Justin. Time right now is 5:22, 43 degrees out there. It is chilly.
It definitely is. Okay, a robot that does your chores? How about this? We're going to meet a humanoid lending a helping hand. Plus, also, we're going to tell you why an outage left gamers and office workers pretty frustrated.
In today's Tech Bites, a new robot that can give you a hand around the house. The 1X humanoid can answer the front door and take out the trash, but many tasks still require company workers to control it remotely. Pre-orders for the $20,000 robot are now open. More people are watching YouTube on TV these days than on their device. So YouTube plans to start using artificial intelligence to upscale lower resolution videos to high definition. The company aims to support upscaling to 4K resolution in the future. Microsoft says it has restored its Azure cloud service after a global outage. Services and platforms like Microsoft 365, Xbox, and Minecraft were affected, in addition to the websites of Alaska Airlines and London's Heathrow Airport. Those are your Tech Bites. I'm Sophie Flay. Have a great day.
All right, chilly start to your Thursday morning, 43 degrees outside as we get to 526.
Lights out again. Families in One Shirts neighborhood say they're fed up with the constant power outages. What CPS Energy is doing to fix that right now?
We don't know what's happening with the U.S. economy right now.
And the Fed is making a major money move, but doing it blind. Coming up at 6 o'clock, we're going to tell you how the central bank is deciding your next credit card or mortgage rate. All right, and a good morning to everyone out there. It is Thursday, October 30th, and look at that. We've got a little fire burning in the back there. Trying to stay warm on this Thursday morning, y'all.
It's one of those situations where it is cold outside, and my teeth were chattering, but it's a nice change.
Yeah.
So we'll accept it, and a lot of people are loving it actually, and we're going to get some great weather going into the next few days. So yes, the temperatures are chilly across the state right now. 43 here in San Antonio, 34 San Angelo. Look at that. Amarillo is now below freezing, 31 up there, 29 in Marfa. So the whole state dealing with some fall-like temperatures finally, hour by hour. 43 at 8 o'clock. By noontime, we're up to 65. Clear skies all day long. And eventually we'll make our way up to around 74 or so for high. So really, really gorgeous Thursday, just the way you draw it up. And by the way, winds will be much lighter as we get into today. What about a freeze? We're nowhere near that yet. There is not a freeze in the forecast, but we always get this question: when is our average first freeze? Here's a bit of a map showing that San Antonio, typically it's late November, early December. Now this is just an average. Things can change. But as you get into the hill country, we're talking October 31st to November 6th. And we'll take a closer look at this map and talk more about this, but I wanted to give you some of the stats. And coming up this weekend, some rain chances too. We'll get into that in just a couple minutes.
All right, thank you very much for that, Justin. Well, 5:30 right now, and this morning, families in One Shirts neighborhood say that they are tired of dealing with constant power outages. We're talking about the Rhine Valley subdivision near Lower Seguin Road and FM 1518. Since the start of the year, the people living in that subdivision say that power outages have become a frequent problem. Some of those outages lasting seconds, others last hours, though. They say that this happens sporadically and often enough that now they're enduring unexpected costs. Now, one person we talked to says because of a surge, he lost pool equipment, lights, and a lot of his interior electronics.
Everything that was hooked to the router was fried.
So this is a new system. How much did it cost you?
It was right at about 15 grand for everything.
So why does the power keep shutting off here? A spokesperson for the city of Shirts says it does not own or operate those utilities, but that the city has reached out to CPS Energy multiple times and has not received a, quote, satisfactory response. A spokesman for CPS Energy told us that it has investigated those outages, but will now send crews to inspect that area once again.
Hey there, good morning. Well, most of us are heading ready to soak up some extra hour of sleep this weekend, but don't get too cozy just yet. Daylight saving time officially ends Sunday at 2 a.m., which means we fall back and those evenings are about to get darker earlier. That shift might sound simple, but it can actually throw off your body's natural rhythm. Dr. Ben Long, a San Antonio sleep medicine specialist, says even though falling back is easier than springing forward, it still takes a little planning to keep your sleep on track. He says you got two options. Wake up an hour earlier Sunday morning so you're tired by bedtime, or start adjusting early. Push your bedtime back by about 15 minutes each night for a few days before the time change.
Then the easy transition that you can do is about 3 or 4 nights beforehand, shift your bedtime later by about 15-minute increments every single night. So then by the time we get to daylight savings, when we go back that hour, you're back to your bedtime and your wake time that you like.
Dr. Long says your body should be fully adjusted in about 2 days, but keep in mind those shorter days can also affect your mood. Coming up in the next half hour, we're going to talk about how less sunlight can take a toll on your mental health and the early signs that you should watch for.
Voters have a lot to decide when it comes to San Antonio's future ahead of the November election, but they also have a lot to decide when it comes to the state, because as a lot of people might know, when it comes to getting a job, a 4-year university degree and some student loan debt might not be the right choice for every family. So the alternative of trade schools has become growing in popularity, and now one Texas proposition could increase funding for that to make sure that multiple people have the chance to address a growing workforce problem. It's called Proposition 1. If you take a look at your screen here, you're going to see some of the language on the ballot that specifically comes to this when you show up to the polls. It says a constitutional amendment to create 2 funds, the Permanent Technical Institution Infrastructure Fund and the Available Workforce Education Fund, to pay for buildings, equipment, and other capital needs of programs at the Texas State Technical College system. That's a school that is existing in Texas right now that allows people to go through with a specific business-ready education system to get either a degree or certifications to be able to work for schools and to be able to go directly into the industry. When I went over to speak with a local auto repair shop in San Antonio that's grown a lot over the last 9 years, it says they're part of a group of mechanics from around the country who come together and help one another and say that a diminishing workforce problem isn't just something they deal with here in Texas, it's happening across the country. These businesses need employees with some level of training for the trades and think that if this measure could mean more people go through schools like the Texas State Technical College, it could mean better customer service faster.
Technicians are coming in who, just want to learn but may not have that background, that training, but it is challenging to find technicians. It is a shortage in the workforce right now.
Some opponents of the proposition say they don't want to embed this funding into the Constitution in Texas, while several trade associations and manufacturing construction groups have supported it. Remember, you can head out to the polls today and tomorrow from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. ahead of the big election kicking off on Tuesday, November 4th. For now, I'll send it back to y'all. Devin Karp, KSAT 12 News.
All right, thank you very much for that, Devin. Well, President Donald Trump announced a remarkable military deal with South Korea on Wednesday. Trump, in a social media post, says that he has given South Korea permission to build a nuclear submarine in the United States. According to the president, it will be built in the city of Philadelphia. Right now, South Korea only has diesel-powered subs. The country wants nuclear-powered ships to keep up with China and North Korea. Okay, this morning, people across the Northern Caribbean, you see some of the devastation right here, still digging out from all that destruction caused by Hurricane Melissa as the death toll there from that storm continues to climb. Emergency relief flights are landing at Jamaica's main international airport this morning as crews work to reach communities that are still isolated after they were directly hit by that Category 5 storm. Catastrophic flooding occurred in Haiti, where dozens were dead or missing. Eastern Cuba also had plenty of damage as well. Okay, back here at home, let's get you updated on the traffic situation, especially on the northeast side right there, as we're seeing our biggest delays at the moment right here. Over on 35, this is going to be our southbound traffic, Schertz Parkway, basically the Roy Richard area. So if you're headed past Selma, you're going to run into about a 10 to 15 minute delay right now for all of our folks making their way through there. That may actually get a little bit bigger in terms of our delay that we're seeing on 35 South. This is going to be right before you get to Live Oak and Pat Booker. Again, ongoing construction taking place there. When I was driving through there a couple of days ago, it looks like they have kind of shortened it down to at least one main lane, kind of moving through the southbound lanes of 35. Downtown area, things are looking okay for the most part. Again, we're still dealing with a lot of construction closer to downtown at the Y, and we have cleared out construction right here at 35 at 37. Let's check in with Alex here. Things are looking in drive cam. He was in the east side of town earlier at an incident, and it looks like he's back on the roads. Alex?
Yeah, good morning, RJ. Well, the east side's back to normal now because that crash has cleared. The exit to 410 north from I-10 west has both lanes back open now, RJ.
Okay, thank you very much, and we'll check in with Alex in just a little bit. Justin.
All right, 5:37. It is 43 degrees. A cold, cold morning out there. But, the Spurs shooting has been pretty hot. If you're headed to the Spurs game tonight, when you're walking in, temperatures will be in the 60s, 67. When you're walking out, temperatures in the upper 50s. Not so bad. We'll take a look at the weekend forecast and next week coming up.
Thinking about throwing a Halloween bash at an Airbnb? You might want to rethink that plan. How the company's anti-party system is ghosting high-risk bookings before the first costume hits the door.
All right, and as Justin just mentioned right there, your San Antonio Spurs looking to go 5-0 for the first time in franchise history against the Miami Heat. Tonight, we're going to tell you how hyped we want to see you out there with your photos and videos, and also hear from the Spurs on how they plan to beat the Heat tonight.
Well, so far there hasn't been too many problems on the highways, but there is construction on the northeast side, so that's where I'm headed to, and there's still much more to come on GMSA.
5:44 your Thursday morning. The Spurs going for history tonight. So get this, hard to believe that this franchise has never started a season 5-0, but that's on the line tonight at the Frost against the Miami Heat. San Antonio averaging a league best 131.5 points per game. A lot of it because of that guy right there. On the flip side, the Silver and Black are giving up just a league low 104 points per game, and it will come down to defense tonight to cool the Heat.
They're playing the fastest, I think the fastest in the league right now. A lot of transition, a lot of one-on-one basketball, swing, pass, a lot of stuff like that. So it'll be a physical game. They got some big guys, they got some really good players. So, I mean, it'll definitely test our defense. Credit to the coaching staff, man. They've been giving us a lot of good stuff, a lot of film. We come here every day and we're watching film. We're practicing as if we're playing Miami that day. So I credit to them, man. They've been doing a really good job with that.
What is the key to kind of dealing with what they're doing now on offense?
We gotta play defense.
Yeah, got to play some defense. All right, the Spurs hosting the 3-1 Heat tonight, 7:30 at the Frostbank Center. Go Spurs, go! And we want to take some time to remind you, if you see your Spurs spirit, we want to see your Spurs spirit right here on KSAT 12. Use this QR code that you see on your screen to submit some pictures or videos of all the fans getting hyped out there as the Spurs try to go 5-0 again to start the NBA regular season. This has never been done before, so we'd love to see all of your best pics and photos. Again, being a diehard Spurs fans, and we love all those videos as well. Go ahead, submit them via the QR code or get to KSAT Connect, and we will use them later on KSAT 12, guys.
All right. Hopefully some of you guys have jackets, Spurs jackets for this morning, because you're going to need
I've
that.
seen some nice ones. Yeah.
I used to have one of those old Spurs
starter one
jackets. Those were on point, man. I wish I still had it. Today's a good day for that.
Yeah, and we'll talk about the weather coming up in just a bit, but real quick check of the roads right now, guys, and taking a look at our citywide map. Here you go. We do have an incident right there, 281 at Bassey Road. That's going to be on the northbound lanes over by the Corey area, so not causing too much of a backup at this moment for our drivers. Again, north side of town before we get to 410 and 281, but we'll keep an eye on that situation as we make our way through your Thursday morning commute. Real quick though, we are clearing out some construction right here, 10 at Fresno Street. This is going to be right before you kind of get into the near northwest side of town, so traffic is starting to move along there after they had 3 main lanes blocked of 10 over at Fresno. But our major concern is going to be on the northeast side of town. Let's check in with Alex and see if he's made it out to the northeast side, because we do have some construction delays out there. Alex?
Yeah, good morning, RJ. And we do still have roads closed because of construction on the northeast side. So if you're driving up 35 northbound, the exit to 410 west is still going to be closed. You're going to have to exit early, take that detour to Randolph Boulevard, and then from there you can get back on 410 west towards Perrin Vital, RJ.
Okay, and also ongoing construction over by Roy Richard Drive and 35 on the far northeast side. So be careful if you're heading out. This morning, Justin, where it is pretty chilly outside.
It is. If I may steal a term from my predecessor, it's a grilled cheese and tomato soup kind of day. Well, temperatures in the 30s and 40s this morning. 43 degrees here in San Antonio, 42 Converse, 43 Boulevardy, 36 Comfort. I mean, it's just crisp and cool outside. I am keeping an eye on Kerrville's temperature there, 34. It's possible we could briefly, and I do mean briefly, get down to freezing there. Even if we did, it would have very little consequence. But At any rate, it is cold. It is jacket weather for sure. We talked a little bit about this off the top of the show. The average first freeze. So when can we expect that here in San Antonio and the surrounding areas? Well, if you look at the areas in pink, it typically is Halloween to November 6th. So we're approaching that now. And again, if we were to get there in Kerrville, it would be right about on average. Purple here, November 7th to November 13th. San Antonio is typically a little bit later. The city warmth tends to keep that just at bay a little bit longer, November 28th to December 4th. That is also the case for Del Rio. The further south you go, obviously, the longer it takes. But these are just averages. Does not mean that is a set date. There are some years where it takes quite a while for us to get down to freezing. We'll see what happens this year. But I can tell you that there are no freezing temperatures in the forecast. These are the morning lows over the next 5 days or so. And we're going to hover right there in the upper 40s, low 50s, other than this morning. The average is 56, by the way, so we'll be below average all the way into next week. Weekend forecast, 20% chance of rain on Saturday. Is this something you need to worry about? Probably not. If we see anything, it'll be light, a few showers, but we just can't rule it out. 76 Saturday, partly cloudy. Sunday will be sunny and nice, 73. And that, again, it'll be beautiful. Patty talked about this a little bit. Daylight saving time ends on Sunday, so you fall back. The clocks fall back at 2 a.m. Sunday. So your sunrise on Saturday will be at 7:47. The sunrise on Sunday will be at 6:48. And look at the sunsets. 6:47 on Saturday, 5:46 on Sunday. And you know that also affects traffic. RJ will tell you that once we hit this fall back, it just feels like traffic gets worse because the sun, obviously people are driving when it's dark now, and it tends to rush hour gets a little bit worse. All right, 4 a.m. update on Melissa. Winds are at 105 miles per hour. Category 2 storm. It is racing now off to the northeast at about 21 miles per hour. This will skate past Bermuda, and by the weekend, it will already be up in the cold waters and becoming extratropical at this point. But what a storm Melissa was, and we're still getting some of those reports coming out of Jamaica, and it's not good there for the southwest coast. 77 tomorrow. Again, good trick-or-treating weather. 76 on Saturday. We showed you that forecast. And next week, we're still talking about 70s with some 80s maybe by Wednesday. But this is a good-looking fall forecast.
Yeah, the sweaters are coming out. The jackets are coming out. The gloves might be coming out soon, and the hats.
Yeah, why not?
The scarves, everything. Boots. I've been hearing a lot of talk about boots.
This is South Texas, so we
boot season.
Boot season, Patty.
Yes.
All right. Our Just Ask Justin question this morning. For some reason, I was thinking about this yesterday, but what is the most common surname in Texas? Is it Williams, Garcia, Smith, or Martinez? Right now, Garcia is getting all the votes. You can go to ksat.com/poll or scan a QR code, and we'll get you that answer in about 1 hour.
All right. We've been talking a lot about last names and what they mean. So
yes, definitely. In fact, the other day I was called RJ Martinez, so obviously Martinez is a very popular one.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
All right. Time right now, 5:51, 43 degrees out there.
All right. If you're planning a spooky Halloween party at an Airbnb, you may want to think twice because the company's anti-party technology is on the hunt once again. We're going to tell you how it's blocking high-risk bookings before your guests even arrive. All right, welcome back to Good Morning San Antonio. Well, here we go. Let's check out this story real quick. And we're going to be talking about an Airbnb hosting Halloween parties this weekend. So you definitely may want to think about having a backup plan ready. But I think we are talking about oh, here we go. We have the Airbnb story once again rolling out its anti-party system for the spooky holiday. Airbnb's technology evaluating the potential party risk by reviewing the length of reservations, the distance from the guest locations, and the timings of your bookings. Now, high-risk bookings will be blocked. The company says that last year, its policy prevented more than 40,000 people across the U.S. and Canada also from booking entire home listings for Halloween. Airbnb is also warning adults, specifically parents and grandparents, not to book property for others.
Okay, Character AI is banning minors from using its chatbots, a move coming amid growing concerns about how AI conversations affect children. The company faces multiple lawsuits, including one from a mother who says a chatbot encouraged her son to take his own life. Starting November 25th, users under 18 will no longer be able to chat freely with AI characters, and a 2-hour daily limit takes effect immediately. Character technology say it's adding age verification, but many experts note that those systems are very easy for kids to bypass.
Yes, definitely got to be careful with AI and ChatGPT. Well, moving on to some of our local news here. Testimony is going to continue in the trial of 3 former San Antonio police officers charged in the 2023 killing of Melissa Perez. Up next, what a lead detective is saying this morning about some missing information from an arrest affidavit.
And a violent crash on San Antonio's west side. Several cars tangled in that wreck. You see it right there. We have an update on how many are now in the hospital and what investigators are trying to piece together this morning.
All right, get the heating ready for your cars because we're going to be talking about traffic, including ongoing construction right here on the near northeast side of town. We're going to check in with Alex for the very latest over by 35 and 410.